to another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. I'm your brother, O God, from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother Sam and Viral Hip Hop News. It's a Monday, man. Love to be in the building. It's another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. Oh God, what's good, my brother?
What's good, man? What up, everybody out there that's listening to this podcast, no matter what platform you're listening on? We in the building and ready to give y'all another week of powerful episode. You know, just covering the top news in hip hop and news all around the world, man. So I'm excited to be here, man. And you know, the snow's out there, but we still in here. We gonna do it, man. I'm ready.
Indeed, we're gonna cover the top news and the top news only this evening. No bullshit today. Yeah. We'll wait for the bullshit. But yeah, man, excited to talk about the Uncensored Truth Podcast. Yes, the topics we got going on today. The Grammys obviously were last night. Got to do Dax out of Canada that really went at Torey Lanez, man. Had some bars for him. Torey didn't like it. Got some inside information about that. That's really exciting.
Yes.
Young Thug, Nicki Minaj. What else we got over there, brother, man?
We're gonna talk about the Grammys. You know what I mean? That was big yesterday. Cardi B winning the album of the year. Nicki Minaj, you know, pretty upset. She hasn't got a Grammy, you know, yet. You know, as well as 50 Cent talking about Drake, you know, and Young Thug being arrested before the Grammys, preventing him from actually going to the Grammys, as well as a few other stories today, man. So we're gonna get it popping today, man. Definitely
excited, man. I love coming in here on Mondays. I was thinking, man, I never was excited to go to work.
I know, right?
Anytime going to work, it's like, fuck, I don't want to be here. But coming here and doing what we do, man, it's nothing better.
Right.
Real excited to give it to the people. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, Viral Hip Hop News Uncensored, and of course, the official Uncensored Truth Podcast channel. Appreciate everybody listening. Of course, subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and all major online outlets. That's all I got, man. Let's get to the show.
Yeah, man, we're gonna jump right into this. Everybody knows that the Grammys was last night, and if you will follow our Instagram, you see it was pretty much lit up with people putting pictures up, and you know, social media in general, Twitter, Facebook. A lot of the winners started coming in. A lot of people seen Cardi B, you know, Drake being interrupted. But let's talk about this a little bit, man, because it's a little bit of a mixed reaction, you know, from some of the people. You know, you were telling me that J. Cole doesn't even submit his music. So we were talking about this in the pre-production, and, you know, do the Grammys really matter? You know, now, Nicki Minaj, let's start with her first. She's pretty upset, you know, that Cardi B pretty much came out her first year, Invasion of Privacy, won Best Rap Album, making her like maybe the 9th woman to ever do that. You know, it was a tremendous feat. Or is it? So what do you think, Sam, man, about, you know, the Grammys? What are your thoughts on that, and it meaning so much to people or not meaning anything to people?
I think that we need to just chill the fuck out on that a little bit. And what I mean by that is, if you put in the work and you want that award, go get the award. If you don't, then don't submit your music. Right. But there's a lot of people out there, a lot of artists that'll cry, fuck the Grammys, fuck this, but still submit their music and still go up for the opportunity to win it. And it's which one is it? Do you want the award or don't you? You can't. And okay, first off, let me start by this. The Grammys has historically ran women and ran hip hop R&B categories through the rug. We were never respected. We all know the boycott that happened, I believe, in 1989 that got hip hop, the category hip hop televised on the Grammys. So I don't understand if we either going to be mad about the situation or we're not. Now, in regards to Nicki, should she feel salty? Now, social media, like we said, it drives the world. And when you got people on you, you got BET going and saying she got dragged by her lace front, causing her to get mad and saying that Young Money will be on no BET things. Like, people take this shit personal. So do you care or don't you?
Right. And then you said the BET, they left a statement and took it down off Twitter saying that Nicki Minaj was dragged by her lace front.
Oh, yeah. I'll check that out.
We'll put that on the screen for, you know, the people.
Absolutely.
Once it's available.
Young Money will no longer be a part of the BET Experience or award show. Summer tour dates dropping. That's Nicki Minaj in this response to this. Nicki Minaj did not. Hold on. Let me see. BET Entertainment Television decided to drag back women. That was responses to this. This was BET's response. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj is being dragged by her lace front. Cardi B is the first solo female rapper to win Best Rap Album, and fans are weeping. That was a headline on Twitter. And we'll show that to the people right on the screen.
Yeah.
Causing people to get pissed. We all know how these Nicki Minaj's followers and Cardi B's followers and Beyonce followers, they don't play any games.
She should definitely win a Grammy by now, I think. Maybe. You know, Nicki had a lot of good, you know, a lot of great, I'll say great, you know, songs over the last at least 10 years. I think she should have definitely, if Cardi wins for this album, Nicki should have definitely won, because this album you know, even though, you know, I'm not taking anything away from Cardi B, you know, bask in that. That's a great thing that you won that award. But a lot of people's criticism of that was pretty much it was a good album for hits, but not lyrical content so much. Nicki gives you the lyrical content and the hits. So if you're going to give Cardi that, you should have gave Nicki that. But the Grammys are never, you know, pretty much, they're not, everybody can't win.
That's what I'm going to say. Who do you blame for that?
Right.
So, I mean, Jay-Z got snubbed. I believe he's 0-8. And he'll say, fuck the Grammys and all that stuff. Yeah, he submits his music. So we know damn well some of his albums, some of his songs deserved a Grammy. No doubt about it. But who do we blame for that? The white hat higher ups? Do we blame, like, and then if we do blame them, when is it to the point where we just stop talking about after Grammys and literally just don't submit the music? Because if they don't have music, the show is already shit. The black entertainment on that show made the show. With Cardi B and her emotional outburst when she won album of the year, rap album of the year, when you had her when she won R&B album of the year, and shout out to DJ Camper, our man Jersey in the building, for being a producer on that. Congratulations on your Grammy. When you see the emotion and you see Alicia Keys playing and just the amount of pride that they get in doing that, how can you deny that?
I mean, it's like this, you know, people want to be rewarded, you know what I mean? If they're putting their music out there and by their people, you know, and I guess over the years it has gained prestige. It's like the Oscars and other awards, you know, the Grammys is like the top one for music. So if you get that, like that's the ultimate milestone for anybody in music. It just is what it is. I mean, nobody's going to change that. Now, should you care? Maybe. It depends on who you are. You know, it's not the end all be all. It's just an accolade, something you put on the wall at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Chalk it up to being competitive. You can't point fingers in competition. It is what it is. And when you're dealing with a competition where you got voters who may not know anything about your genre of music, they're just picking this and picking that, and you know that, you can't take it seriously. My son does martial arts. He's been doing it for about 5 years now. When he does his certain katas and his weapons forms, you got 4 or 5 judges that sit there and they base their opinion on these kids. Now, I could say my son was better than everybody there. If these judges don't think so, it's a matter of opinion. It's the same thing, man. You can't. Somebody's always going to disagree with you.
What do you think about J-Lo? A lot of people, you know, are mad at J-Lo for that. I think what was it? Tribute to
Motown tribute
that she did last night at the Grammys. A lot of people were upset. You know what I mean? Telling people, but why were they upset? Because she was Puerto Rican. Really? Wow. That's pretty sad.
Here's my thing. I'm not mad at the fact that she was Puerto Rican. I'm mad at the fact that J-Lo can't sing.
Woo.
She's a great artist. She's a great actress. She's great at what she does. Singing is not one of them. So for her to be able to go out there and take out a Motown, nah, that wasn't her lane. You should have had Jennifer Hudson and Fantasia out there blowing, Mary J. Blige, John Legend and Neo playing the piano. Do your thing and make it soulful. You picked the wrong person.
It's definitely disrespectful when you look at it in that. You know, when you make that point, it's like, yeah, like Motown, you know, the essence, you know, that was so you know, legendary, you know, what they done to have somebody who can't even sing. You know, all shouts out to J-Lo, great actress, you know, makes great music, but just not a raw singer like that. Like you said, they could have picked, you know, a lot more people.
Not to take out the Motown. Like, we don't want to see a bunch of dancing and twirling around. You got to be able to blow and take care of business. Now, if people get mad at me for saying she can't sing, I'm sorry. I'll put it like this. She is not well enough to execute the song she needed to execute to really give Motown proper justice. They had way better singers out there that could have did that thing. She can't sing.
That was a good way to put she can't sing.
You see that like that? She can't sing. We know it.
No doubt. Yeah, they're going to go in, man, but it is what it is. It comes with the territory. But yeah, man, other than that, man, I really didn't. You know, I can't get into the Grammys like that, the award show. And I used to watch like the Source Awards back in the day. That's the last time I watched the award. I just can't get into them.
Nah,
I like the pictures and I like to see who won and all that, but sitting there and watching it, I just can't.
Nah, it was very boring. I didn't watch it, but I couldn't see myself sitting through a Grammys when you got to look at all these other categories and they drag it on, and this is whack.
But I'm also go through a few more, you know, people, some notable things that we could talk about who won, you know, real quick. Best rap song performance. Shout out to Childish Gambino. This Is America. Did win that. Drake.
First time.
Yeah, first time. That right there. Best rap song, God's Plan, Drake. And as we know, best rap album, Cardi B. Now, what do you think of Drake? You know, him giving his speech, you know, and being interrupted.
I think he was dope. First off, I think it was dope for what he said, to get on there and use that platform the way that he used it. I thought it was dope. I thought that it was real classless that they cut the mic off. but they do that. I've seen that many times. In the Oscars and the Grammys, they'll cut you off and just be ruthless with it. But I think a message was about to be sent there, and they knew that message was about to get out sent to the masses, and they cut that cord quick.
Right.
Because he was telling them they didn't need him. You don't need the Grammy. This is cool. This is dope.
Right.
I love winning.
Right.
But don't get hung up if you lose, because this ain't really, this shit ain't it.
Right.
They don't know about us anyway. And that's what he said.
And I always like to see, man, people when they do stuff like that, you know, you got the wealth, you got the fame. Say what the fuck you want. Tell the truth. When you get up there, you know what I mean? So salute Drake. One more notable, you know, before we move to the next topic is shout out to LMA. You know, LMA won best R&B song for Boot Up. You know what I mean? Doing her thing, man. Yeah.
LMA, I thought, in my opinion, should have won R&B album of the year for the females. Her won, and salute to that. That was an exceptional album as well. Shout out to DJ, like I said, Jersey in the building.
Right.
Salute you. But LMA's body of work, that made me feel like it was a renaissance coming back to female R&B. When we got Tiana Taylor that came out early last year, and then you hear LMA, and then her, and there's so many great female R&B singers that I feel like R&B is on a real great track. And when you got Brandy coming back out, another artist, female artist about to really make their stake, I think that's in a real good place. Men R&B, not so much. Now there's great male R&B artists, but none of the young ones are really putting out the way these young females are doing.
Right. Well, the producer of the year, this was from Mike Shock, Pharrell Williams, quietly, you know, got the producer of the year. I think that's pretty dope. Best music film, Quincy Jones, you know, some of the more notable ones that we will pretty much care about here. I'm looking at best gospel album. Yeah, that's pretty much you know, the ones that we would care about on our podcast. But if y'all want to see the list, y'all can go to other Grammys and see the full list of people, you know, who won the Grammys last night.
Indeed. Yes,
sir. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sam, man. Please go look for us on YouTube right now. If you don't find a description, you know, our channel in the description box, all you gotta do is type in Uncensored Truth podcast and go subscribe to our channel, whether you listen to it on YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Just type in Uncensored Truth podcast. I want to move to this next story, Sam. Man, what's the word I want to use? The Grammys, you know, Young Thug anyway. It's related to the Grammys. You know what I mean? Young Thug didn't make the Grammys last night. So this is what happened, man. This is another crazy thing. Young Thug was pulled over for a traffic violation while riding in a van. And when he was pulled over, pretty much they're saying that the police asked him that the gun he was carrying, was it registered? He said that it was, and they found out that it wasn't. So they found the gun on Young Thug. He did not go to jail, but there's a video out via TMZ of him being handcuffed. But for whatever reason, he wasn't taken to jail. But we already know he's in a lot of other trouble, gun and drug charges. You know, this is not looking good. So the limited information that we have, you know, right here, just looks like it's going to be another charge, you know, for him. Now, he was in an entourage, you know, so I don't know if they're going to say it was somebody else's, but they did find out that the gun was unregistered. So that's not good from the information that we have. What do you think about, once again, Young Thug not being able to make the Grammys because of being found with the gun on him once again?
Yeah, you know, we talked about Young Thug a couple of times on this platform, on this podcast throughout the 10, 11 months that we've been up now. And usually it's regarding something negative like this. And it's unfortunate because when you look at a talent, an evolving talent like Young Thug, he's very lyrical, even though you hear a lot of the mumbling and all of the nonsense. If you can break some of that stuff down, he got some hot stuff. I was really impressed with the one he did with Swiss Beats. That shit was dope. But to see him continually get in trouble, to see him continually go through things that seemingly are self-inflicted. Now, a lot of things you could blame on certain issues, but some of these things, let's keep it 100, Young Thug, you got to put on you. And I'm never for having a man, especially a black man, get sat down and put behind bars just because of the injustices we went through, obviously. But what can we do to have him, quote unquote, sit down for a minute? Maybe not necessarily get locked up, but sit down and people put proper arms around him to where he can get himself some help. Because it's not looking good for him. And it would be very unfortunate to see him do life in prison or something worse because he didn't have the right people in his corner just properly putting his arm around.
Well, I'm looking at this right here, and the update to it is that one of the people did take the gun. You know what I mean? In this case, one of the you know, people that was in his entourage, and they're saying as a result, he was arrested on the spot. You know what I mean right here. So yeah.
So that's what happened.
Right.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, we'll salute.
Right.
Make sure you take care of that, brother.
But still, I mean, again, he still has other pending, you know, cases. You shouldn't be doing that, man. I mean, it comes a point where you got to learn how to drive, you know, ride, you know, safe. If you want to do what you want to do, It has to be with somebody else. You can't be, you know, the cash cow, keep getting caught up with these type of cases, petty cases with guns and drugs. It's just silly.
I mean, in this case, all right, if you want to have the heat and the whip, understood, but have somebody in there that's registered to carry and have them carry.
It's easy. Yeah.
And have them carry. So then you don't have your man sitting there doing a solid for you and have to do some time in jail for it. Right. It's unfortunate. Definitely. Have somebody that can carry.
Definitely agree, man. But yeah, but you tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother God and Sandman. If you're listening on YouTube, I need you to do me a favor, hit that like button and make sure that you share this video. Yo, let's jump to this right here, man. Dax, a rapper out of Canada, man. We listened to that diss track against Torey Lanez earlier, and I'm gonna tell you like this: he dismantled Torey Lanez, you know what I mean? And now, so go check this song out. I think you said it has 2 million views. Well, yeah, everybody, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Torey Lanez, you know, is a video circulating right now. I'm getting ready to play. Well, Torey Lanez pretty much, you know what I mean, is running down on this rapper and making him apologize. I'm gonna play this video, then we're gonna talk about this real quick.
Shit's not gonna end. This shit's not gonna end, my nigga. Well, this shit's not gonna end. Apologize, bro. Apologize, bro. Or you know what's going on. Apologize, my nigga. Apologize, nigga. I got you, bro. Apologize, nigga. Say sorry, nigga. Say sorry, nigga. All right, bet. I got you.
All right, so that's the video right there of Dax. You know, I guess not Torey Lanez, but somebody from his entourage, somebody that knows him, I guess. You know, from all indications, we don't really know. We don't see who's in the video behind it, but again, I heard the diss track. The dude ripped, in my opinion, beat Torey Lanez apart. You know what I mean? Lyrically, definitely hit him. You know, with some shots that you know somebody only who could know him could throw. So yeah, man, what do you think about this diss track right here? Some inside information that we have.
Yeah, well, I was obviously scrolling through and I seen that video that you just showed. I'm like, who the fuck is Dax? I've never heard of the guy out of Canada. Never heard of him. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it made me go to the diss track and I listened to it. I'm like, dude got bars. He's very talented. But I don't see what Torey Lanez is mad at. I don't see what got him up in arms. And then I'll play it for you and we vibing. And I'm like, shit, yeah, he's cutting him up. He's cutting him deep. And it's funny that we're talking about it. Then my man out of Connecticut, Inside Scoop, who's been talking and very involved in this situation, I'll let him go and give his credentials once I give him a call. He's saying that, in fact, Torey Lanez will not diss Dax, but he has somebody else in line ready to diss him, a very popular rapper who is cool with Dax. So we're going to let him explain that situation. I'm going to call him up right now.
Yes. What's going on, my brother?
Peace, man. What's good with you? You are on the Uncensored Truth podcast. Obviously, you know me. This is Sandman. Across from me is God. What's going on, man? State your name, brother. I told him you had some inside information regarding this Torey Lanez Dax situation. So, yeah, man, give him your criteria to the people. Let them know how you got the inside information and then give us the scoop, brother, if you don't mind.
Well, I got this information because, well, my name is Chester Middlebrooks. I'm the co-owner of Viral Vision and a partnership with Frank Eno TV. Shout out Frank Eno TV. Shout out Dwayne TV and Screw Reactions. This is where I got my information from. I just fell in love with Dax just recently, not because of the diss, but I seen a lot of reaction channels picking up on Dax. So I was like, man, let me check out who his brother is. So everybody knows that, you know, Dax and Torey Lanez, they've been beefing. He had this big beef. You know, this big diss track came on and Torey Lanez basically pulled up on him and made him apologize. Now, the information that I got from I can't disclose the source was that how Torey Lanez found out where he was because Dice Soho and another woman artist, Dax was opening and performing for them in LA. The untold source said that Dice Soho told Torey Lanez that Dax was out there. So they came inside the club, they pressed him, Dax ran, they hopped in the car to chase Dax. While he's running on foot, they're in the car. And they basically forced him to apologize. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows, you know, without stitching or nothing, you know, basically, you know what's going to happen. He's going to get beat up, or possibly he could have got shot or killed.
Why so, my bad to cut you off, Henry, but why so serious? Why the animosity for Dax? Because we heard the record and Torey asked for it.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. You know, Torey put that challenge out. Whoever wants to basically battle him, you know, come up. He's taking on anybody who wants to battle him. But I kind of feel that Torey Lanez is salty because in the rap diss, he says that Dream Doll basically talks about, like if he likes men or women, you know what I'm saying?
Is Torey Lanez gay?
Yeah, like if he's gay, it's like what his preference is. So he basically said in the diss song that he didn't want to go rapping about his hairline or nothing like that. So he basically was insinuating that Torey Lanez was gay. But he didn't say it. He basically referenced what Dream Doll said in her diss. So everyone, if y'all didn't hear the Dream Doll diss, y'all got to go check her out. Check out her diss. That her diss stemmed from Torey Lanez dissing Don Q, talking about how Don Q, you know, slept with Dream Doll and he paid for the, you know, for the kitty cat, and that he hit it for free. So Dream Doll was like, oh hell no, Don Q ain't never hit nothing. And then I don't understand how Torey Lanez, you know, brought Dream Doll in it. Like basically he was battling Don Q. But that's a whole other subject, you know what I'm saying? But she responded and said basically that the night when he did sleep with her, she didn't deny that they slept together, but that he was sucking her toes. And that basically she never had no threesome with him. And in the diss song, she basically saying that she got everybody in the Bronx is on his neck right now. Like, if she say the word, they'll gun him down, basically. So I feel like, you know, Torey Lanez is kind of mad. Now he can backpedal and say, well, yeah, I told Dax not to drop the diss, but how you gonna tell that man not to drop the diss when you go ahead and put the rap challenge out there?
Right. Now you also said
I felt like he saw Dax as somebody weak, so he tried to copy the formula that Meek Mill did. You know, ran up on Safari and basically had the goons get him.
Right. Now the
thing about Meek Mill is he kept it like that across the whole board.
Right.
He pushed French Montana, and I forgot who else he did, but he ran up on Beanie Siegel. You know, he kept that same energy across the board. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I feel like he don't get no cool points for that. You know what I'm saying? And when Dax is not even a street dude.
No, you could see that. That's obvious. Now you said that Torey Lanez, even though my bad to cut you off, family. My bad to cut you off, but my bad to cut you off, big dog. But you said that now we thought that, I don't know what you thought about the Dax diss track. I thought it was dope. Old guy said it was dope. We thought he shredded Torey. It was like, damn. And the fact that he reacted the way he did, it was like, whoa, you even get even more points for that because that shit pissed you off. Now you also have information on whether or not Torey will respond and somebody that might respond in his place, maybe.
Yeah, we definitely got information on this, and you know, I became a fan of Dax today after I heard the diss, but since then I've actually rescinded it because after I seen the Adam 22 Jumper interview, how he said that, you know, he's basically discrediting himself as become a YouTube rapper, but that's basically how he came up. All these reaction channels reacting to his music, you know, putting him in a lot of places. That's how he got his rise to fame. But Dax basically has been doing music with a few artists online, you know, Screwface, Kodeka, you know, a few other, you know, artists, you know what I'm saying? And they've been making music recently. So Screwface basically paid Dax $3,000 for a verse, and he also paid Dax an additional $1,500 to promote, you know, the song Dream Chaser. Dax told him on January 5th that he would promote the song once it drops. So Screw was like, okay. So he dropped the song. He hit up Dax, and Dax was like, nah, I can't promote it because you don't got a video. Which is understandable. You know, YouTube is about videos and all that. So Screw flew all the way back to California, you know, to make the video. Dax went out there, you know. He asked Dax if he could also, you know, if he wanted to, you know, do the video for the Four Horsemen. Now, the Four Horsemen song was Kadeka, Screw, and Dax, and there was another guy. I forgot the other guy's name, but to cut it real short, Dax basically used the same verse over and over. How he's talking about he's a janitor and how his rise to fame. Like just a year ago, he was a janitor, and he really didn't put that much effort into the verses. You know, for him to charge $3,000. And on Screw's song, he only put up 10 bars. Now, this is where it gets real interesting. He goes back later after he did the video, he drops it. He reminds Dax that, yo, you know, say my brother, you said you will, you know, share the video. I paid you to share the video. You're not going to share the video. Dax said that he's not going to share the video on his page because he's too many focused on the new song that he got with Hobson, which is understandable. But he should have told that man from the beginning, yo, brother, I'm not going to be able to promote your video. Why take his money and then not do what he said he's going to do? This is the reason why he said it is because, when I was coming up, I did a song with OT Genesis. He didn't retweet my song. I did a song, my first song I did with Hobson. He didn't retweet my song. It took him to the set. I pushed it all by myself, which is understandable. I understand the grind, you know, people putting in their hard work and their ethic, you know, their hard work. But when it comes to ethics and integrity, you don't tell somebody that you're going to promote it and then backpedal and then don't, especially when somebody pays you and you're supposed to be rendering a service. This brother got screenshots and everything. Now, the problem I got with this is, how is that you're going to say that you, Torey, and Drake, remember he mentioned Drake's name in the diss. They're all from Canada. Now, if you remember that Meek Mill back-to-back freestyle, he said the only thing I fear is headshots and screenshots. You know what I'm saying? This man got screenshots of y'all business interactions. You know what I'm saying? So now this brother's making a diss track exposing Dax. And he's saying, he's looking to the fans to say, should he let it ride or should he drop the track? And a lot of people saying that he should drop the diss track. But he don't want people to think that he's clout chasing because of what's going on with him and Torey.
I see. I mean, and it's probably going to look like that right now if he did drop it.
But another thing I got a problem with, it's kind of like DJ Academics. Like, the same night that he got pressed, DJ Academics called up Dax on Instagram Live and asked him basically what happened. Dax basically said exactly what I said. They ran up in the club. Dax didn't say who. He just said a bunch of people he couldn't really see. He just ran. You know, he probably feared for his life, kind of like the whole Tekashi 6ix9ine and the Loki Schmooder thing. You know what I'm saying? He pressed Loki, and he ran. Torey didn't do it by himself. You know what I'm saying? And he sure enough ain't pull up on Don Q like that. Or Dream Doll, or Joyner Lucas. You know what I'm saying? So, obviously the diss actually hit home, or it was real personal for him to pull up on him like that. And DJ Academics asked him some suspect questions, basically some Vlad TV questions, but you know what I'm saying? If you're a street person, you're a street dude, you're supposed to know how to act in an interview anyway. You're supposed to know what to say. You're supposed to say no comment, not no comment. I think Dax handled himself pretty well, but for DJ Academics to ask him, why was you walking? Where was your goons at? Nobody was with you. Understandable, you know, Dax is by himself. You know what I'm saying? He's not a street dude, so he's not thinking that he's going to have any type of confrontation like that. Like, this is just a sport. He's not expecting nothing to come back out of this. You know, but for DJ Academics to say, did they have guns? That is not fine journalism. You know, he was expecting that man to snitch and make the situation worse.
I hear you on that, man.
I don't respect DJ Academics for that, for asking Dax at that man if they had guns pointed at him. Like, that man gonna tell anyway. I mean, he apologized on camera. You think he gonna admit if the niggas had guns or not?
Right. Well, man, we appreciate your insight on that. Definitely let people know where to find you, man, and your handles, and let's shout out Frank Nino as well.
Well, y'all can follow us on YouTube at Frank Nino TV on YouTube. You can follow him at Frank Nino 1 on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram, Viral Vision, VIROVIZION on Instagram, YouTube, all the platforms. I appreciate you, oh God, and Sam, for your time. I just wanted to, people are searching the truth, so, I got to let the truth be known. And Screwface gave me permission, to tell the whole story. And I'm looking forward in the future for him coming up onto your show and, telling more about his side of his story, his rise to fame, and when he do drop the track, or if he does. I really think that he is going to, but I really think that he's going to come on the show and, give y'all that break.
Hey, man, we appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for your time. Definitely me and you will be in contact, man. And yeah, you take care, brother.
Yes, sir.
Ready to over now. Love y'all.
Peace,
brother.
All right, old God. What do you think about that, man?
Yeah, pretty loaded. A lot, said there. Again, man, a great diss track. But sometimes, make me know things can spill over sometimes into the street, and it just happens. And in real life, we gotta act like hip hop's not real life. When guys say things and disrespect you in a certain way, you gotta be expecting that. You know what I mean? I don't agree with it per se. I think it should stay on wax because Torey Lanez asked for this to be on wax, and to me, it's kind of some sucker shit. A nigga ripped you up. Get back in the booth and do it. Don't press him in the street. Make him apologize. I think that's kind of sucker shit. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, indeed, man. Just the diss track against Dax against Torey Lanez, obviously it was dope. It hit some chords, had Torey Lanez out of pocket. Viral Vision, excuse me, he made some great points in talking about how he never pressed Dream Doll, he never pressed Don, he never pressed Joyner, but this got personal. Screwface Gene, obviously he got some bad business done to him from Dax, and he contemplating doing a video right now. And it's understandable at the timing why he wouldn't drop a diss track, given the fact that my man just dropped a 2 million view video and it's circulating right now. But shit, what better time to do it? Drop that joint. If it's hot, it's going to do some numbers.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely can't wait to have Screwface on. That'd be dope.
Indeed.
We'll definitely talk about that. But you tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God, and Sandman, going in today on this Monday, kicking off the week the right way. If you're watching this on YouTube, I need y'all to do me 2 favors before I get to this next story. Hit that like button and make sure that you share this video. This is a breaking story that I seen just come across my ticker here. Young boy, NBA young boy, was arrested. Once again, NBA young boy arrested once again. This time, for the police are saying pretty much having less than an ounce of weed. Now they're saying also the rapper was arrested on charges of using fighting words and physical obstruction with another. Now all 3 counts are misdemeanors, and he's currently being held in the Atlanta City Detention Center. Now they're saying, unfortunately, that a bond has not been set, and the details are pretty scarce. We don't know much more than that right now, but he is arrested once again. NBA young boy looking at some misdemeanor charges, but charges nonetheless, at this point in time. So what do you think about this new report, coming out, him being arrested once again, Sam, man? I know you know a lot about NBA young boy.
Talented rapper out of Tennessee, man. I like him, but he's a fucking knucklehead. It is what it is. And he seems to always find himself in negative situations where people often like to push his button and try to test him and get it on camera. It seems like he's a real a person. I don't want to say he's easy to kind of rile up, but the trolls, when he gets to certain situations, they got people that push his buttons, and his buttons are too easily exposed, and he reacts way too quick. When you hear about the misdemeanor charge of less than an ounce of marijuana, the cops were fucking with him, obviously, but he probably overreacted too. And I'm not saying he wasn't justified, but you got to play chess in this thing, not checkers. And you can't be running your mouth and going crazy out here with some of these cops and all this nonsense. You got to play the game right. Right, because they ready to throw a bunch of shit on you. Now, misdemeanor charges, nonetheless, I see him getting out of the situation, nonetheless. But like you said, this is another moment, another instance where he finds himself behind bars or in a situation with the law. And we talked about this with Meek Mill, maybe not necessarily on the podcast per se, maybe on Hip Hop News Uncensored in the earlier days, on how Meek Mill was kind of unfortunately getting a paper trail. His name was just too out there, even though the charges were nonsense. The gun charge against a police officer was bogus. We know that. The Williams shit was bogus, but the stuff going on around it, the maybe the possible thing with Safari and this. His name was just in the media for too many negative things, giving somebody reason to do some dumb shit. We saw what happened. Right. I don't want to say the same thing happened to NBA YoungBoy, but it looks like that's kind of maybe the path that it's going down.
Yeah, well, here's another update that just came across my screen here. According to TMZ, it says according to cops, young boy and a female companion named Star were hanging out in a hotel room, where a housekeeper entered the room and saw a young boy allegedly arguing, with Thigpen. He says Thigpen attacked one of the maids, striking her in the face.
Damn.
The police report was obtained by TMZ, states that the fight spilled into the hallway until the housekeeper could get away and call the cops. When the cops arrived, both young boy and Thigpen were arrested. That's his update, on that story.
So that lady get charged for aggravated assault if she wants to.
Yeah.
Which is even more serious than if the NBA YoungBoy put his hands on her. That might be more serious. You assaulting.
My thing is like
maids and shit now.
The thing is like stuff happens, but when you're a celebrity, every little thing is put under the microscope. Like this probably happened up the street from here. Somebody got into a fight with a girl or something, they got arrested, and it's misdemeanor, quote we. But when you're a celebrity, it just looks like, oh man, they're in trouble. And just because they get money, we always say, how come they didn't do this better? They don't really change you for the better.
Yes,
people still doing the same things, they were doing. They probably been doing more reckless. We all know the people we come up with, like guys who just, running these entourages, they smoking weed in a car. They might have pills, guns, all types of shit. And they just recklessly living out there, not giving them. I knew a few cats like that coming up, and they would always be in and out of jail, and they just really didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Regardless. And they didn't really think, too clearly. We talk about the people, who pose on internet with guns and all types of drugs and stuff. They're not thinking clear enough to say, you know what? I might be putting myself in harm's way or snitching on myself, which is another thing that we got to talk about. I always wanted to talk about this when people were getting arrested, for, pretty much snitching on themselves. Does that make you a snitch too? If you're snitching on yourself?
It's the worst snitch you could be.
You know what I mean? Like, can we call you a rat? Can we call you a rat for snitching on yourself?
You're a rat that eats yourself. You're a cannibal to yourself. It's disgusting.
Right.
And when you look at it, it's a shame. Last thing to just end this whole NBA YoungBoy situation, put the goddamn do not disturb sign up. And then nobody can come in your room. You ain't never been in a hotel.
Right.
Lady can't just barge in your room unless you ain't respond. She ain't just walk in there. She had to knock, say housekeeping, knock again. Then she walked in the door job. Put the do not disturb sign up, man. Keep it moving.
Definitely. See, that is what it is, man. Once again, a lot of times the problem with this thing here is these guys be on papers, you know what I mean? And, they get a charge and they give him more time. So, hopefully that young man can get himself together. He is a young boy. Look at his name. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It just seems like he's just in and out of jail. But that kind of is what it is, man, here on the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Oh God, and Sam. And I don't know if you've seen this, Sam, man. The new Aladdin. I don't know if you've seen this, but your boy Will Smith is going to be playing Aladdin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's been getting dragged. A lot of people, I've put saying a lot of nasty comments about that, according to this article here. What do you think about it?
I'm not going to drag Will Smith right now, but I'm not impressed with it.
Nah, definitely.
Wish it was. I would rather hear his voice on like a Pixar kind of cartoon kind of thing. That live action Aladdin with him sitting up there looking crazy. It looks crazy. Now, I'm looking forward to The Lion King. I ain't gonna lie to you. That comes out in June. And you can see like live action when it comes to animals and shit like that. That's gonna be dope. But to do live action with Aladdin and have him sitting up there looking crazy, I can see how people are clowning him, but I'm not gonna
I'm just like, I'm definitely not gonna clown him, on that. But I think, he can just use his talent for so much. It's so much better, like movies. I mean, because when you see like back in the day when we seen Will Smith, like Independence Day, he was kind of moving, towards like a whole nother, different type of, the comedian type goofy actor to some serious roles. And he did real well. Hasn't been much that I've been really, Pursuit of Happiness was good, Enemy of the State. But a lot of the movies that Will Smith does, man, it just really don't impress. Just me. Don't impress me like that, man. I think he could do better. That's just my opinion.
And that's a shame because he's one of the guys growing up. Will, Martin, you know what I mean? Cosby's, these are our guys. You know what I mean? And like you said, Independence Day, Big Willie Weekend. We was out there watching that. Men in Black, we was watching that. But like you said, he started transitioning and getting the more serious roles, and it was looking like it could be an evolution. That brother's making money. He's paid. I mean, I know that's not everything, but a lot of people are going to say he's rich and all this stuff. He could do better roles too.
That's some clown shit, man.
Bad Boys 3 is coming out, but even that's going to be, it's going to be great. Awesome movie. I can't wait to see it, but that's even kind of comedic. And
do you think that, you know, that's going to live up to the hype? Bad Boys 3 is going to be hard. What do you think about that?
It's going to be hard. I think people are going to be excited to see it. I think a lot of people are just going to be excited to see it, like they're excited to see a building, but I don't know if it's going to be much substance to it.
Oh man, speaking of that, see, we ain't even gonna, you know, people gonna listen to this podcast. You know, somebody said that they bought a building, you know, somebody, but yeah, we gonna get to that real soon. We just want to keep mum's the word. No, we got something for y'all on that one. But yeah, man, that is what it is, man. The Uncensored Truth podcast. Another one in the books.
Got one more thing for you, man, real quick.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Cleveland Browns.
Oh yeah.
They got Kareem Hunt. Now we all know Kareem Hunt, the ex-Kansas City Chief running back. Sources tell ESPN's Adam Schefter that Hunt signed a 1-year contract. He will be a restricted free agent after the contract expires, meaning the Browns will control his rights after next season. The Kansas City Chiefs released Hunt in December after the video of him kicking a woman in February. The statement from the Cleveland Browns say that he deserves a second chance. Now, sources close to the situation tell ESPN's Dan Graziano that the discipline process was still ongoing and nowhere near done. A source told Graziano, that Hunt met with NFL investigators in January as a part of the process. Browns general manager John Dorsey drafted Hunt for the Chiefs in 2017 when Dorsey was the GM. I want everybody to know we've done extensive research in regards to this case. This player, Dorsey told reports during media availability Monday, he understands it takes full responsibility for the egregious act he committed. He is extremely remorseful for his actions. Oh, God, what's your thought on that, man? Hunt being 23 years old,
Yeah, he's that young?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just came out a few years ago. That's right. Yeah, that's you know, he definitely deserves a second chance. Definitely, man. You know, unfortunate situation he was caught in. Things happen. People learn from him. I mean, I'm sure it scared the shit out of him. You know, probably could have been a difference in them winning going to the Super Bowl. Who knows if he would have been in there for the Chiefs? Very true. You know what I mean? But he was a great running back. So I don't like the choice of teams. You know, Browns are not really.
Don't sleep on them right now, man. They got something. I mean, I know history.
You never know.
They got something going on over there right now.
You go up.
Yeah, they got some time. They had to go up. They shit for 20 years, but they got some good going on over there in Cleveland. My response to him getting a second chance is obviously I feel like everyone deserves a second chance in some aspect or another. When you look at a kid that's 23 years old, obviously he made a mistake. Shouldn't have put his hands on that girl no matter the situation, even if she was hitting him. I'm telling you right now, guys, I hear this all the time. I get a lot of slack for this. Oh, no, fuck that. Listen, you don't win that situation. You don't win. You better learn how to duck, fucking bob and weave, Mayweather her ass, but you cannot put your hands on her because the second you do, you're wrong and your ass will be sitting in jail. Is it worth it? It isn't.
If you're trying to, I mean, here's what I'll say. You know, not to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what I mean? No, don't put. But I mean, if it's a life or death situation, you gotta get out of that situation. We're not going that far with it. I'm not saying, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. We're not condoning hitting a woman, but
life-threatening situations.
Right.
Obviously, take care of get out of there with your life.
Right.
Period.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, in regards to Kareem Hunt, best of luck, man. Hopefully, if you learn from your mistakes, can't throw out any more nonsense because you're about to get dragged for a whole year. You know the women ain't gonna stop; they're gonna be on.
Yeah, just win some games, it'll go away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But you know, get 1,000 yards too. But I also, before we go out of here, man, I want to talk about this on the way out. This story right here. What do you think? Damn, I forgot what story I was going to talk about. Damn, never mind.
It'd be like that.
Yeah,
it's a live show, man.
Yeah. It's all good. It wasn't really that important anyway.
We'll get to it tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, man. But another episode, hopefully it pops in my head before we get out of here. Another episode of the Uncensored Truth podcast in the book with your brother, Oh God, and Sandman. Going in today on this Thursday. Be sure to join in with us Friday night at 8 p.m. We got a special show lined up. I'm telling you, it's going to be real special if everything pans out. But nevertheless, we will be live on Hip Hop News Uncensored at 8 p.m. You're going to want to be in the building for that show, definitely.
Shout out to the people watching on Viral Hip Hop News Uncensored, and of course the Uncensored Truth Podcast official channel. If you're not subscribed to one or two or all three of those platforms, make sure you hit that subscribe button now, the notification bell to get all the alerts. We drop different content on all three platforms. We are not playing. We are the content kings. We show that will work indeed. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to our iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play to get the audio version of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. We're going to start giving you guys some special exclusive content over there coming within the next couple of weeks or so. Got some great things lined up. Like Old Guy said, Friday night, you're not going to want to miss this one. Real excited. We're going to peel that onion back layer by layer.
Yes, sir.
You heard? But yeah, man. Love it, man. Another episode. We out of here.
Yes, sir. Peace.